pick your brains. Hilda, would you stay with a cheating spouse?
It depends. What is your definition of cheating?
For example, if we are married and we are Christian, it's one man and one woman. So if my husband steps out and sleeps with another woman, he's cheating on me.
It depends on the dynamics, because before people get married, they are dating. So, for example, of course, like text messages and flirting and all of that, I feel like it's something I can forgive. What?
But isn't that what leads to the actual sleeping with someone? Doesn't it start as text messages and flirting?
Sometimes people just want attention. Sometimes when you're just someone for a long time, like you reach a point where like you love them, but they're no longer fascinated by you. So like that attention from someone else and the text messages and the compliment.
Can I break it? If we are both adults and we are both agreed that we are going to talk to each other first to get into this relationship, if you're starting to feel lonely and abandoned, isn't it better to speak to me as opposed to go out and bring someone else? I don't think that can be an excuse.
That person is not going out. Events are happening to them.
Anyway, would you
I do believe that for flirting and all of that, which doesn't have any physical, you get it.
So you would, as long as it's not physical.
It's something I would forgive as long as it's not physical.
So if it's physical, then
if we are in a relationship and we are dating, I don't think I can ever forgive cheating. Like someone,
when you're dating.
When we are dating. Mm-hmm. How about if we are married? It is, we can, go for counseling, work through it, because marriage is for better or for worse, and there's so many dynamics there. Our children, our finances, family.
That's true.
And all of that. And in a marriage, by the time someone makes a decision to leave a marriage, they have tried everything. They've done everything humanly possible to save their marriages. We see women, fasting, praying, mountain, sewing, and all of that.
So basically, you feel like when you're married to somebody, when you say for better or for worse, you should be able to walk through whatever.
Walk through it if the other person is willing. If my husband cheated on me, God forbid, and he shouldn't watch this and feel like somehow let him go cheat, I would be willing to work things through. If he's willing to fight for our marriage, if he's willing to make amends and we move forward.
Okay, I respect that. Like for me, it depends. And when I say it depends, I mean like how long this has been happening and what is like, are you in love with this person? Is this an affair? Do you feel like you have feelings for them? Having understood and I think grown wiser, I would forgive my husband because that's what the Bible says. The Bible says that we are supposed to submit, and I would do my part as the wife, which is to forgive and to try and work it out like you're saying. And I would hope that the husband that I have, if he's a God-fearing man, as I want him to be, he will also try to do his part, because we're all human beings, we make mistakes. You can falter, you can fall. But if he's also willing to acknowledge that, look, I made a mistake here, I went out of my home, let us fix this, then that would be the best kind of scenario. But, being a person who is really trying to not just speak of my faith, but act on it, I feel like I'm compelled to stay. I'm compelled to forgive my husband because he is my husband. That is why I'm going to take extra precaution picking a partner.
People say that women are more gullible than men. Do you think that a man would forgive their wife or their girlfriend?
Well, if a man is God-fearing and he follows the Bible, when God says that men should love their wives, love is forgiving. Yes, as Christ loved the church, love is forgiving, then a man should. But if I'm to be realistic with the times, obviously it's very hard for a man to put his ego and his pride aside, especially if someone is his wife. Even when you're just dating a guy and he has cheated on you, there's a level of disrespect. It's like he feels you have not just bruised him, you have like bruised his ego. Like, was I not man enough? Was there something that I was not doing? So it's very unlikely. Most men don't, but a man should. This is your wife, then you should be able to work through it like what you're saying. When you make that vow, for better, for worse, this is now a for worse situation. Your wife has cheated. How about when she cheats and she gets pregnant?
How many women in this Kampala, how many
in the world,
aunties of ours, how many mothers of ours, relatives, etc., have raised their husbands' children? Not one, not twice.
That is true, but if we start to compare ourselves, then that is the mistake we are making. Like how you said, this feminist stuff, it is meant to confuse us and derail us.
My point
At
is
the end
this,
of the day, we
Martha,
cannot be like men.
You know, we should extend the same grace to others that we expect others to extend to us. You know, if my husband or spouse expects me to understand that, oh my God, Hilda, maybe made from bed to my wounds. That's why I said eating out. You know, and I'm going to work on it. Maybe you should also do the same.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. And what you're saying is rooted in truth. I mean, if we're willing to forgive others, and others should also be willing to.
Are you trying to tell me that somehow that women's hearts get over things faster than men's hearts?
Obviously not. But I feel like all of us were called to certain roles. When you're a woman, there's a role that God ordained for you. When you're a man, there's a role that God ordained for you. And when we start to compare ourselves and try to be equal, that is the cause of majority of the problems that we are seeing today.
But because you're talking about gender roles, you're talking about forgiveness, which is a human choice. It's like saying that I'm going to wear black or orange or any other thing.
Yes, okay,
it is not a gender
role.
You're
absolutely right. However, what I'm trying to put forward is women, we are softer creatures. God made us with that ability to be able to forgive a slight, as opposed to guys. We're in a world of today of trying to be equal. You know, I had someone say recently that what men do, men honor people who are above them. They raise those that are below them, but they fight those that try to be equal.
You know, it's one thing for someone to make a mistake, another thing for someone to make it a habit. You know, if your spouse steps out of the marriage by mistake and a one-time thing, that is for you.
Exactly.
Nozalo mwana soka from wife, I don't know, wife from another country over district.
No
county. Exactly. Well, what is that?
I tell me, but that's
Father
a
of
spirit.
nations.
Personally, me, I believe.
Demons.
Yes, because you have created now a pattern that now is the demon is going to come and form a stronghold. Those are the men whom you find that years later, Chatan can get your sack. Now, for a girlfriend cheated or not cheated or not cheated. He reached a point whereby he cannot stop that. Even when he finds a woman whom he loves, you ask him why have you cheated, he's like, I don't know. What are you saying? No, but I don't know what that is.
Like when you see a man run. Because men are no good, men are trash.
God forbid, no, they are not trash.
They are not.
We love
men
you. But for real though, it's just this new age feminism that like is trying to like distort ladies' minds. But I feel like if you go back to the Bible, if you go back to the blueprint, you cannot go wrong. So going back to what you were saying, what were you saying?
That don't make it a habit.
I feel like sometimes, I mean, but the red flags be there, we just ignore.
Are you trying to tell me that because I have my children from multiple men, I do not deserve love?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
It's not like walking to Kumpasa.
No, that's oh my God. That's what I'm saying. Nature number is this. When you're looking for a partner, it is important to also study their history and find out what happened. Of course, if you meet a woman...
But what if they have changed?
That's what I'm saying. If you meet a woman and she has 4 kids from 4 men, it does not necessarily mean that she's a slut. No. But what I'm saying is that it falls upon you as a man to do the necessary investigation. Find out, how did this come about? What happened with the first
they
father?
What
happened
going to
with
marry
the second?
her?
What happened with the third? What happened with the fourth? And if you recognize that this is a chain, maybe the flaw is in her, like she keeps dating the same man, you guys can work upon it together. You can go for counseling, you can go for therapy, whatever it is that you feel will work for you. But there must be a recognition of the problem. You cannot just ignore it. You have to recognize that there is a pattern here. And if you pretend that it's not there, my friend, you fall prey to it. Yeah, I believe that if you are married to someone, if you made a vow before God and they step out, you are obligated to work through it and to forgive them, because you need to forgive others so they might forgive you.
However much I recommend forgiveness, it is a personal choice.
True.
So you shouldn't be pressured to stay in a marriage yet you're going to become bitter and resentful. It's really...
So basically what you're saying is that if you find yourself that you cannot forgive, you'd much rather divorce this person.
No, maybe you should like take some space and try to work
towards forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a switch that is turned on.
But above all, you know, fixing a marriage or a relationship is a two-way street.
Yes, obviously, if you've wronged me, we must work through it together. I have to make you recognize. The problem is sometimes we think our partners are psychic. I have to be able to tell you that you've done this thing that has hurt me. You have to be able to say, I'm sorry, take
and I'm willing
to work.
Exactly. I do believe that you can talk through things and you can work through them. You know, unless your spouse says, you know what, I am not willing to do this, I'm not willing to make amendments, I'm not willing to do these things for you. Maybe you can say that, you know what, this is not serving me. But you're staying in a relationship and you are not happy, and then you're trying to search for happiness elsewhere. It's something that
it's not right, and it's
not
fair.
right, it's not fair, it's just wrong.
It's better to close a chapter before you start another. And like I said, it's not right to bring a third party into this, because me and Hilda, we are not getting along. I bring in another person to try and mend this. It becomes a mess at the end of the day. So yeah, I think those are our opinions, but I think today we have both agreed. Forgive, so
Be
that you can
be
forgiven.
safe out there.
Be safe out there, guys. We love you. Bye.
If you really want my head